I missed all of my son's warnings and now regret it. My son Evan was always the calm one in the family. Not shy, just quiet. He liked building things. Lego sets, model cars, anything that required patience. And he used to talk to me, a lot. We would talk about space, video games, how he thought dinosaurs survived longer than scientists believed. Just random conversations, but they were ours. Things changed slowly. Not all at once. Not in a dramatic way. Slow, like watching colors fade out of a picture one shade at a time. I first noticed he started closing his bedroom door more often. I figured he just wanted privacy. He was 13 then, classic age for that. No big deal. Then he stopped coming downstairs for breakfast. I'd call his name and he'd yell back, "I'm not hungry." Sometimes he wouldn't even yell back. I'd just hear a faint, "yeah," or "okay," through the door. I didn't think much of it. Kids change. Teenagers sleep weird hours. I convinced myself I was overthinking it. Then the school called one afternoon. They said Evan had been late 3 times that week. I joked about it when he got home, told him, "Bud, are you turning into a night owl on me?" He just shrugged, didn't smile, didn't answer. He just walked to his room and shut the door. That was the first time I thought, something's off. But then work got busy. Bills piled up. Family stuff got messy. And in all that noise, I let myself believe the easy answer. He's just tired. He's just growing. He's fine. Looking back, and that was the moment I should have stepped in. The next sign was dinner. We used to eat together every night. It was our one rule as a family. Phones away, talk about your day, no distractions. But Evan started skipping dinner. At first, it was once a week. Then twice. Then almost every night. He'd say he ate already or wasn't hungry. I remember one specific night. I knocked on his door to give him a plate because I knew he hadn't eaten anything all day. He said to just leave it. His voice didn't sound angry. It sounded exhausted. Not sleepy exhausted, emotionally drained. But I didn't open the door. I respected his space. Or at least that's what I told myself. People online always talk about depression like it's obvious, like it's impossible to miss. But when you're living with someone, seeing them every day, changes don't feel sudden. They feel slow, subtle, like background noise you stop noticing. Months passed. His grades slipped. Teachers emailed. Friends stopped coming over. His laughter, the kind that used to fill the house, disappeared completely. And every time I asked, "Are you okay?" he said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I accepted that. Because it was easier to believe than the alternative. Then came the night everything changed. I had gone to work early that morning. A long shift, one of those days where you don't even look at your phone because you're so busy. I got home earlier than usual, around 4 in the afternoon. The house was too quiet. Normally, even on his quiet days, Evan would be on his computer. I'd hear keyboard clicks or a YouTube video or music playing softly. But there was nothing. I thought maybe he went for a walk or to a friend's house, though he hadn't done either in weeks. I called his name. No answer. I knocked on his door lightly. Still nothing. I remember pushing open the door and seeing him on the floor, lying on his side, eyes closed. He was breathing, thank God, but he wasn't responding. My heart dropped into my stomach. It felt like the world slowed down and sped up at the same time. I ran over to him, calling his name, shaking his shoulder gently. Nothing. I grabbed my phone, tried to dial emergency services, but my hands were shaking so badly I kept hitting the wrong numbers. I finally got through, and I swear, my voice didn't even sound like mine. It was shaky, desperate, terrified. They told me what to do. Told me to stay calm. Told me to wait by him. Every second felt like an hour. When the paramedics arrived and took him, I followed right behind them in the car, gripping the steering wheel so tightly my hands hurt. I prayed the entire drive, begged, pleaded, promised anything if he would just be okay. At the hospital, they told me he'd had a severe breakdown. His body had basically shut down from a mix of exhaustion, stress, and untreated depression. He hadn't eaten properly in days. He hadn't slept properly in weeks. And all the signs I dismissed suddenly hit me all at once. The skipped meals. The closed door. The silence. The fading smile. I sat in that hospital chair beside his bed for hours, holding his hand, apologizing, wishing I could rewind time. He woke up eventually, confused, scared, but alive. The doctor talked to both of us privately, explained that Evan had been struggling for a long time, explained that kids often hide their pain because they don't want to burden their parents. And that broke me. My son thought he would burden me by telling me he was hurting. We talked Really talked, for the first time in months. He told me he didn't want to worry me. He told me he didn't know how to explain what he felt. He told me he felt heavy all the time, even when nothing was wrong. I cried that night, quietly, so he wouldn't hear, because I finally understood how much he had been carrying alone. Since then, things are different. We go to therapy, together and separately. We take walks. We eat dinner together again, even if it's just something small. I knock and wait for him to invite me in instead of assuming he wants to be left alone. And most importantly, I listen. Not to what he says, but to what he doesn't say. Because I learned the hard way that silence can be a scream. I still feel guilt. I still have nights where I lie awake replaying everything I missed. But guilt isn't useless, not if you use it to change. I can't erase what happened, but I can be the dad he needs now. Present, attentive, patient, loving. And every morning I see him sitting at the table again, eating breakfast, looking tired but okay. I'm grateful, because I almost lost my son without realizing he was slipping away. And now I refuse to miss the signs ever again.